to live trading, but then immediately the next sentence says, I'm struggling to stick to one model and one approach. And that is the answer that he has to find. He has to find what model he's going to utilize. Pick one PD array. And what I was going on about was I have 81 of these things, and, and it's not required for you to know all of them. If I just would have taught just the fair value gap and never did anything else, you have more than is necessary. Like it's easy. It's easy to do that. What makes it hard is when I teach, and this is what I was bloviating about. Every time I teach something new in the comment section of my YouTube channel, I have people that'll say, "I'm struggling right now because I'm consistently profitable with this model, optimal trade entry 2022, what you taught with the silver bullet, or I'm doing, Caleb's model, or I'm doing Cameron's model, or my dog Piper's model, whatever it is that, it's recently released." The idea is they have found something that's working for them. And then I come out and I teach something new, a new PDRA, another model. And it's their loyalty as a student that is the problem, because they feel like the next new thing I'm going to teach is going to be better than everything before it. So don't waste any more time with what they're working with right now. Drop everything and go to this new shiny object. When in fact, that's not what I'm doing. I know that there's people still, they're actively trying to study. They're actively trying to do the things that I teach in the channel, but they don't feel comfortable with the one PD array for life. They don't know which one it is for themselves. And the common denominator is they don't spend enough time with one. Minimum 3 months. If you can't do that, don't try to learn from me. And I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm being sincere when I tell you that, because if you can't give yourself, not me, you're not giving me anything, give yourself 3 months of time studying, only visualizing price action through the lens of that one PD array. How often does it give you setups? How often is it delivering on the basis on which I teach the logic around it? But you're taking that little thing, that PD array that puts you in a trade, it has to plug and play in what you understand about where the market's going to go. Where is it drawing to? Where did it draw from? Where did the market just recently engage? During the live session, I mentioned that the regular trading hours opening range gap high from February 4th, that 25,440 even, we were trading at 392. I said the next run is going to be up to the high of the regular trading hours gap from last Wednesday, February 4th. It ran right up there on the heels of meeting it, and then just went above it by a little bit, and then gave up the ghost and dropped like 90 to 100 handles. Then went all the way back up and failed to get to it again on the 10:31 a.m. Eastern 1 minute candlestick. I said during my response before we got knocked off, my question was being posed to him as, if you don't know when the market's likely to be low resistance or if it's in high resistance, that's going to be a struggling point too. So I have lots of comments that come to me from people that can do very, very well in demo, and then they go to try it in live. They're so rushed to get in there and try to make money that, much like the other gentleman that was I was counseling, telling that he's trying to front run the PD array. He's trying to get in before the PD array forms and just submit to the process of it's going to go where I said it's going to go. That's imposing your will. So I appreciate your honesty saying that you're struggling because you can't figure out what model to stick with, and that's going to always be a problem. If you don't stick to one thing and become a master of that relative equal high or low. And that's why I'm saying that it's one thing, you're not going to be consistent. You have to have a consistent approach of doing the same thing to get a baseline, and then find your problems. This problem is easy. You're not doing just one thing. So if you were questioned whether or not at 10:10 this morning, where it made the highs, and to where it is right now on a 1 minute chart for NASDAQ, would you consider that price action over the last 2 hours? Would that be low resistance or high resistance liquidity run conditions? I'm asking the student.
Yeah. Who was the gentleman that was on here? And I'd love for him to answer. I don't know if he fell off or not, Michael.
Okay.
Is someone listening? And
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
would say low resistance. I would say low resistance. I'm not the one who asked the question, but I'll say low resistance.
It's actually high resistance. And the reason why it's high resistance is because the candlesticks share a lot of the previous candlesticks ranges. So it's back and forth, chop, 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 back and forth, chop, chop, chop. Then it breaks another low, and then it resumes back into a range, and it breaks another low and resumes into a range, and that's high resistance. So I've seen many people that have transitioned from demo into live, and this is the thing that kicks them in the rear end. This environment right here. Contrast that with the run that took place from the 948 low up to 1010. That was low resistance liquidity, where it's trying to get somewhere. It's very forgiving, even if you get slippage, even if you feel a little hesitation getting in, you don't actually enter on the PD array and it starts moving your favor because you want confirmation. When you're in low resistance characteristics, it's very forgiving. When you are in high resistance liquidity run conditions, even if you are trading with the PD array, you can get smashed because it'll come back inside the range that you think that you're leaving, and your stop loss, because you want to be real tight and short on risk, it's very easily consuming you, and it'll beat you up, even when you're right on the direction. Where did the market come from? It came from that relative equal high opening range gap high level I had in the live stream. And then it traded all the way back down to where? Sweeping the low side, or the sell side liquidity pool I mentioned during the live stream. So there's two levels there that were mentioned, but it's not that all these runs here I would not be participant in, because it's high resistance. It's stacking the odds of you being in a move that's clean, efficiently delivered, going to be very easy to reward you with your risk by getting you to your targets. It's going to resist that. That's what makes it high resistance liquidity run conditions. It'll go where you think it's going to go, but it's going to take a whole lot longer time. It's like riding in a car with your kids, and they all want to know when you're going to get there, and you got 6-7 hours left, and the air just broke. It's terrible. And that's what it feels like trading in those environments. So I don't try to teach my students to try to trade in every environment. There's better times to do it. And if you don't have a model, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you haven't spent time with recognition between low resistance to high resistance conditions, all of these factors. So it's not like a one answer response that fixes it. You have to have a comprehensive understanding of what it is I've taught, and try to crush that desire to get out there and try to make money right away, because that's going to be a problem with all of us. We want to make money, right? But if you're trying to rush out there and just do something, and I'll trust my intuition, I'm going to look on the chart, and whatever I think if PDRA pops up, I haven't spent that much time with breakers, but it looks like there's one there because I want to get into a trade. You're going to see what you want to see, right? So you're fooled by randomness.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael, for your time, for the clarification.